in school, you probably mean. Spirit block in school. That sucks. Does that mean you just get to do whatever, but... Huh. That seems kind of nice, you just chill out. And I guess you're probably stuck there at school while waiting for your next class or whatever, but... Is there like a place you can hang out during that time, or... Or just vibe in the school library or something? I took independent study as an elective in a few of my high school years, purely so I can do that, because our teacher was really chill. Because it was independent study, you pretty much do whatever. The only requirement was that we put together some sort of little essay or something at the end of the year on a subject of our choosing. And I was like, oh boy, let me tell you about my current hyperfixation classmates. That sucks. Uh, Nowhere within good walking distance or anything, huh? Or no friends with a car. We used to skip classes and go heading out in the car at lunch all the time. Because in our school, if you were like a senior, you could leave the campus for lunch. But that's because one of my friends had a car and was willing to drive us, so... Maybe you can go bother the drama class and see if you can clean out their storeroom. I know you already cleaned out the storeroom, but I don't know, what if there was another one that they didn't tell you about, or what if they messed it up again while you weren't there? It'd be kind of funny if you just use that time to essentially go to one of the elective classes. I don't know if the teachers would allow it, but if you had a cool teacher, you could be like, hey, do you need a student aid? I got nothing to do right now. weird. I'm guessing they cut out the parts about wearing nothing but glitter and lashes. That's the kind of stuff they've been doing for a long time. Like, we want to use this popular song for a kids thing, but for reasons, we have to not include the part of the lyrics that is really sexual. This is for kids. I'm thinking about Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl. Oh, geez. Wait, do you mean like in a video game, or like you beat up a stalker in real life? Like someone was stalking you or someone you know and you beat the fuck out of them? Or are you talking about video games? Okay, video games. Got confused for a second. I was like, I wouldn't put it past Snakes to beat the fuck out of an actual person if they were being a creep to his friends, but oof. Barely is still a win. Oh yeah, congrats on getting to play Lies of P again. Is it raining outside? Hmm. Hmm? They're like combining fairy tale universes now? Where the heck? Where is that? Where is that? What the fuck? What happened here? Mhm. Yeah, that is some pretty heavy implication. I guess they're like mixing fairy tales. Hmm. Time travel? Sure, okay. Hmm. Okay. Why not? that stuff a bit too. Oops, wrong one. Hmm. Okay. I'll watch out for them paradoxes. Okay, so they're also getting Sherlock in there. Fairy tales and classic literature. And or, because, a lot of fairy tales are classic literature. Mm-hmm. I think it is raining outside again. I I may run outside in a minute to go make sure the rain catchers are in their proper places for catching rain. Ugh, God. Sneeze freaking snuck up on me. Man, they even got Ahab in there, huh? I'm so proud of the captain for being in a video game. I hope they made him as cute as he is in real life. I am joking, of course. I know they mean the literature figure. Literary. Okay, it is coming down pretty good, right now, so I'm gonna run outside and make sure the rain catchers are catching rain. I'm probably gonna get soaked and come back in all cold, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh, so my laptop needs to charge. Okay, burp. Okay. Of course, it started to stop raining right when I was putting the catchers out, but at least all the runoff from the patio roof should get caught, or at least most of it. Possible to catch all those drops right now. And a couple of the rain catchers were slacking off. They had fallen over. So I had to slap them back into shape and get them to do their jobs. By which I mean I carefully turned them over and led them to a nice strip. When searching for a house to try to make an offer on, there's like all the house searching stuff, which, side note, if you ever just like have nothing to do and you want to look at some shit, just like go searching on like Zillow and stuff and see the kind of nonsense that's for sale. But anyway, you can choose options to like make it so that you are either in an HOA or out of an HOA. You can choose like no HOA in the options, and we chose no HOA because absolutely the fuck that. Because you have to pay fees to your HOA, otherwise they can like literally kick you out of your house. I've heard some insane horror stories about that. HOAs are fucking evil and they shouldn't be allowed to exist. Yeah, thankfully, those mostly exist in like newer neighborhoods, and this neighborhood, most of these houses were built in like the 50s, which does come with some, weird old house problems, but I can deal with that. I've been dealing with that forever. But we were like, absolutely fuck no HOAs, we're not dealing with that. Yeah, like there's some crazy stories of people like, just getting their house taken by the HOA. They can like sell their house for a ridiculously low amount of money. They can buy their house for a ridiculously low amount of money. HOAs are by and for evil people. Yeah. So I was like, that is going to be a top priority for me, and I'm sure for both my housemates, and it was. We're like, we're absolutely not dealing with HOAs. They are evil and bad. Even if there was one that was run well out there, I'm sure a douchebag would take it over and start causing problems eventually. It raises property values and stuff like that. People who care about property values, you shouldn't trust them. It's like, I know some people who are really obsessed with property values bought their home back when it was easy to buy a home as an investment, because that's how they were taught. They were taught that buying real estate is an investment, and so you need to make the value of your home go up so you can eventually sell it for a whole lot of money and move to Florida with the other retirees. That was like the idea of it. And so I think homeowners associations came about because of that, like to just try to keep the property values high. just for the type of people who want to get a house, like real estate investors or older people who wanted to get a house as an investment so they could eventually sell it one day for more than they paid for it. But we were like, nah, we're gonna fucking die here. Like, we're not getting this house as some sort of investment. And I think this area is like, I'm glad it doesn't have an HOA, but I think it's the kind of area where a lot of real estate investors get houses and like have rental tenants and stuff like that. Because the sheer amount of people that we had coming by in those first few months who were always like, hey, are you looking to sell? And we're like, no, we literally just got this place. We're absolutely not looking to sell at all. It's like, we don't come from that older culture of you buy a house to invest in it. We're just trying to escape rent, essentially. Escape rent and escape bad living situations. Because where I live and in a lot of other places, rent is getting so expensive that a lot of people have realized that paying for a mortgage, like the monthly mortgage payments, is actually less expensive than paying rent. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to deal with that. Like, I had a old friend of mine, I hope he's doing okay, but he and his girlfriend, wife, I don't know what they were at the time, were trying to they had to move to a few different places. One of the places they moved was one of the newer housing developments, like way out on the west side, where there's like a ton of new housing developments. And they just wanted a nice house to live in. They were, I don't know if they were renting or mortgaging or what, but a lot of those places out there have HOAs. And my friend kept complaining about it and telling me about like you can't. One of the rules that was stupid to me because I don't know, I just think it's dumb. The neighborhood I grew up in didn't have anything like that. We had a neighborhood association, but that was just for like, telling people when there's been thefts and dealing with the irrigation and stuff. But anyway, he was telling me that one of their rules that he kept getting in trouble for was that you cannot have your trash bins visible from the street. There's also other things that you can't have visible from the street. They control where you can park, they control what kind of lawn decorations you can have. There's like a whole list of rules where it's like you can't decorate with so and so, and if you decorate for whatever holiday, you have to have the decorations down after the holiday within a specific number of days. And your visitors can't park on the street for too long, or you can't have a car parked on the street for too long, and stuff like that. It's all this petty nonsense. And so hearing his experiences and just from like around the internet and hearing other people's experiences with HOAs, some people have very little trouble because, they're the kind of people who don't care much about decorating or where they put their trash can. They're kind of okay with being like, just told what to do and they don't want any trouble. And then there are people who are just living their lives and they live with crazy people running their HOA. And like, you don't know if you're going to have crazy people running your HOA until you're actually in there. So yeah, absolutely was not going to take that chance. Plus, you have to pay fees. You have to pay fees to have people control what you do with your own house. Yeah. Like, people who are buying houses as investments and are willing to go along with those rules because they want that money later, I think they're freaks. But anyway, what are the cats doing in there? Oh, no, I think that was just maybe an empty cat food can I heard getting scooted around. I thought one of the cats was up on the counter or something. No, hello, welcome. We're complaining about, HOAs. Yeah, you literally have more freedom renting. The only problem with renting is that, like, the prices keep going up and up as landlords keep raising prices for everything. But yeah, if you're able to, I don't know what the future will be like, but if you're ever able to start looking for a house, I don't know how it is in Canada, but you'll probably need a cosigner, find someone you can trust, and avoid HOAs at all costs if you can. They're evil. Yeah, I mean, that's like when I was playing Hollow Knight. It was basically the same. I think I was playing Hollow Knight before I started streaming, but yeah, basically it would be like I should really stop for now. I'm really tired, and then I would just keep thinking about it. Be like, maybe I can get past that one area by doing so and so, or oh, I just remembered where I might be able to find that item that'll let me get into the next spot. Like running boss fights through my head and being like, oh wait, I think I see what I did wrong. I should try again. I can just try again. It won't take that long. I'll just try one or two more times. Cats. I'd have to go check on the cats. Yep. Kill all HOAs. Quote by Karl Marx. Oh yeah, like the only reason I lived in a house that my parent owned was because my dad is fucking old, and he bought that plot of land. Eleanor is harassing Pistachio, and I need to go slap her just a second. Horrible little brackets. But yeah, my dad bought that plot of land like 40 years ago or something, and then he and his friends rebuilt the house on it because the original house had burned down. And at the time, the cost of lumber and stuff were a lot more affordable. And he managed to pay off his mortgage because he's really fucking old and was a doctor, so, he had that income coming in. I just got lucky being able to live in a house in a neighborhood. Most of my friends growing up either rented or, their parents were living with their grandma who owned a house down the street, And a lot of my friends lived in apartments or other situations, or they lived with their grandparents. Nice. Mm-hmm. Uh, do you mean was my dad's house a pretty nicely built house? I'd say it is questionable. It's, I mean, it's got its problems. It's kind of old and it was built by a weirdo, but, it works. It functions pretty well as a house that mostly keeps rain out most of the time. Yeah. That is true. Americans do always be rebuilding houses constantly. Yeah, my dad's a medical doctor, or a retired physician. Mostly, yeah. Dad generally has been getting crazier the older he's gotten, so, I mean, he's been making some questionable decisions with the property. He has gotten it refinanced a few times, because he's been talking for years about how he wants to sell the place and move to, fucking Montana or something, or, Florida or California or someplace where the fishing is really easy, maybe back to his home state of Ohio. But, he hasn't done it. So... Eh. My dad's old and weird. And no one likes him. This is a fact. The only reason I even still deal with the old guy is because my dog lives over there. And he sends me money still. So. Hmm. Hmm. A year ago? A year ago. What? Well, I'm guessing y'all had like a septic tank or something? Yeah, it feels like Texas just like lives in a cave somewhere, but it's like a gamer cave. There's like LEDs everywhere. And like several gaming systems and like a huge screen surrounded by more LEDs and like Guilty Gear posters all over the wall. So you do live in a cave. I wonder if I should also make the inside shiny. I don't know. I should ask him about that. That's fine. My room is a huge fucking mess right now. I've been stressed out and I have not been keeping it well organized. There's just like, oh my god, just piles of half-finished projects everywhere. At least I finally got all my laundry done the other day. Hydration check. I'd be happy for you if your house suddenly gained a lot of value and you're able to like sell it and then move someplace you actually like. Unless you like it over there. I have gotten the idea that you do not like it over there. In which case, I hope someday you can get out. Yeah, sure. I don't know when I'm actually gonna be able to get around to playing the game, but I generally don't mind spoilers. Happens in the first 5 minutes. I do not count that as a spoiler. Farlam. Hmm. Acts. Interesting. Definitely interested in the multiple acts thing. Yeah, that sounds cool as hell. Mm. Too much steam? Smoke detector? That's not smoke. Yeah, I think your smoke detectors are stupid. Our smoke detectors have not been set off yet at all. I was worried about it because I'm not super used to using smoke detectors, because my dad spent most of his life before OSHA regulations, but this house had to have smoke detectors installed in every room before we were allowed to get it with the type of mortgage we got. And I was worried about setting them off because I had a friend who had in her apartment, anything would set off the smoke detector and it would just go crazy sometimes. I think the battery was dying. She should probably have changed it, but um, yeah. So I was like worried because I usually use incense when I have to clean the cat's litter box. It smells disgusting. I use these little incense matches that are like incense for the length of one single match, and they're pretty great. So I was like worried about that. But thankfully, that is not enough smoke to set off the smoke detector because it's just a tiny little bit. So that's good. I'm missing stuff. Why is it right next to the stove? No, my dad thinks smoke detectors are stupid, not me. Hmm. Yeah, there's like housing regulations about it, about like how many smoke detectors you're supposed to have and stuff like that. And in certain older houses, you need carbon monoxide detectors, depending on how old your system is. Yeah, putting the smoke detector right directly next to the stove is not a good idea, because sometimes there is a little bit of smoke there. It should be like in the hallway or something. Or like, across the kitchen. Because if the smoke is going across the kitchen, that's usually not great. This sucks about the insomnia vent. Hmm. Yeah, that sucks. I haven't slept well for a very, very long time, but it would be nice if I could do that again. I think the last time I slept well was, like, sometimes I sleep okay, but then I oversleep and I feel horrible, so I feel like that doesn't count. Maybe when I was like 5 or something, I don't know. You know how little kids can just pass out? Just real good. I love the songs in that game. Also, I love Night in the Woods. It's just really good. I love May. She's so fucking relatable. But then, like, so is B, and so are the rest of them. And Greg rules, okay? Nice. I used to sleep in that much sometimes, but like, over time, if I sleep too much, I get a weird headache from it. It's a headache that I only get if I have slept in too much. If I have been asleep and or just horizontal for too long, I just get a weird headache and feel horrible. Even if I am otherwise very comfortable. I'm like, partially like, that sounds nice, and partially like, oh no, the headaches. That sucks, man. I have often wondered if Snakes has some kind of sleep disorder. Although I guess if, like, as long as it's enough, you know, that's probably fine. Mm. And brain, that doesn't count as spoilers. That's not what a spoilers is. I guess if you really care about spoilers, you're just gonna have to completely ignore the internet for a little while. Mm. Mm. Not darker. I was considering, like, replaying Hollow Knight before I do Silksong, because I've been meaning to replay Hollow Knight. Because when I had to get a new laptop, I lost all my files and all my saves and stuff like that, which I didn't really mind too much, because the only two bosses I have not defeated in Hollow Knight are the Radiance. Wait, there's three, aren't there? The Radiance, Grim, and that motherfucker in the Dream Tower. But specifically his dream version. The dream version of the motherfucker in the Dream Tower. Those are the only three bosses I haven't finished, and I'm pretty sure I found, like, everything else. But I really like Hollow Knight, so I would like to do at least one other playthrough. But that could also take a very long time. But also, I kind of don't like to do the thing a lot of streamers do, where they play something the second it comes out, so it's just nothing but, like, the same game everywhere you look for a little while. Like, it can be interesting to see, but it is for me. I'm very excited for the Franbo thing you talked about. Wait, what is a 50-hour game to people who actually care about finishing the game and aren't just running around goofing off for the whole time? Hmm. Yeah, I like both Franbo and Little Misfortune. They're both very dark. I'm super into. heard there was going to be a new Silent Hill. I think one of y'all sent me the trailer. Looks pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, yeah, that is very soon for that to be coming out for me to consider buying it. Like, I have to put aside a bit of extra cash to get the tires on my car changed, because they're getting old and they gotta be changed for safety purposes. I'm really hoping I can get that done within, like, the next week or so. But I have to check my account and make sure that'll be okay. Because I have to drive back and forth to the Ren Fair on, what is that, the 18th? Oh, damn it. I forgot I have to empty my car out after the art swap. I still have a bunch of junk in there. Heck. Hmm. Maybe Fran Bow Kid will be old. Could be time travel. I think it would be cool if old, though. Hmm. Could look young for her age. I also always call snakes snakes, too. Because the extra S at the end just kind of feels better, you know? Mm. Yeah, this is the OG snakes. Do not trust any imposters. Evil snakes is just like, yeah, cishet, neurotypical, and she's evil because she's turf. Teeth? Gasp. Yeah, you don't want people thinking you're a libertarian. Dios mío, un liberal. Never read anything by that author. Yeah, you've probably gone past the time limit for changing your username on here, so you could change your username if you want. Hmm. You can do whatever you want forever. That's how we got Liza P. Beat up an old person for the money. Earlier Texas pointed out that Franbo would be like 40 or 50 or something. And you said that the Franbo looked middle-aged. Do you think middle-aged is like 30 or something? Because I thought middle-aged was like 40 or 50. What is middle-aged, actually? I don't know what counts as that. What? It is? Huh, I thought it was like 40 or 50. Hmm. I guess sometimes I just do not know things, and that's okay. I disagree. Being a teenager is the worst. Whoever you're basing these date ranges off of, I am very concerned for them. Okay? Very bleak view of the future you got. Or very bleak experiences with whoever you have met, who was apparently the most miserable bastard in the universe. At Peckhole. I was sitting with my knee at a weird angle and I didn't realize it until it started going numb. Fucking damn it. Ow. Okay. Posture and make sure your legs aren't falling asleep check and hibernation check. Legs. Hold on. Oh, heck, did I miss a message? Mm. Okay, had to reply to a thing. Oh yeah, I should probably mention that in Discord too, but tomorrow I'm going to be at another, heck, did he get that email then? Be at another concert tomorrow night, because Weird Al is coming to town, and, a person from the local comics group invited, was just like, hey, the person we invited couldn't come along, so we have a third ticket, and no one else was able to grab it, so I did, and I'm like, yay, okay. Yeah, that sucks, man. That's how I felt between ages, like 19 to 20 something. I spent 2 years doing like nothing. Like 2 whole years. I can't even remember what I did because I'm pretty sure it was nothing. I think I went to a few anime conventions though, and that was nice. But yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Being a teenager was fucking miserable. No one takes you seriously, or at least no one took me seriously. And everyone treats you like, oh, you're supposed to be turning into an adult, but they also treat you like a stupid child. And you're not allowed to legally do a lot, and you can't vote for much of it. You're sitting around watching adults make stupid decisions. I think being a teenager was probably the worst years of my life in particular. Absolutely miserable. Hated being a teenager. All the adults who tell you these are the best years of your life, they had a good time as teenagers. And they're fucking stupid. Mm. Yeah, I know he was cheese sandwich, I know this, I know. Anyway, I'm going to see Weird Al tomorrow. Oh yeah, I did not have a super happy childhood or teenagerhood. I did all of those things except for... Nah, wait. I think there was that one guy in MapleStory who thought that we were like internet couple or something. I feel kind of bad about that looking back on it. But no, I did all those things and I was still extremely depressed. Mm. Generally, being an adult has been much, much better. Mm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone after knowing me for a while can just kind of assume I've been a little bit fucked up for a long time. I don't exactly try to hide it anymore. Yeah, yeah, I hope things go better for you than you think they will. Yeah, I miss MapleStory. Back in my day, there were only 4 classes. And Sleepywood meant something. And leveling meant something. Kids these days don't know the adventure of old school MapleStory. Yeah, so the only thing that's kind of a hassle about being older is that no one has any free time because everyone is working all of the time. So it's just sort of harder to organize any sort of outings or gatherings with friends. But also, like, I still get to do a lot of stuff, which is very lucky for me. Don't worry. As you grow older, I'm sure you will find more edgy, angsty alternative people. There are always people out there who are angsty and alternative, no matter what. Yep, back to grinding. That's good. Yeah, I fucking love how May is just so relatable as someone who just feels like a failure. Like, hell yeah. Finally. Some good fucking representation. Yeah. God, yeah, B is perfect. I love B. B is also relatable, as someone who has had to work a lot. And often looks at other people's and just is wondering how they can take everything good that happened to them for granted. I love Greg for still wanting to have silly fun, but also, knowing that he has to grow up and be responsible. And also not pull his friends back into old bad behaviors. Yeah, if you are able to go to college, that would be really cool. Like, it's also totally valid if you end up going and you hate the experience and end up dropping out. Or, like, having to switch courses or something. Yeah, college, especially, like, at least where I live, is really fucking expensive. Way more expensive than it used to be for a lot of people's parents and grandparents. You'll have people being like, oh, what do you mean college is too expensive? Like, I've literally told people before, like, I wasn't able to go to college because I couldn't afford it and had them scoff at me as if that was the most ridiculous thing they had ever heard, is that college is expensive. And it's like, honey, things have changed since you were, like, 18 millennia ago. Evil hetero Craig. my god, what could it be? Yeah, I expected it. Yeah, it's like if you don't have money, you have to be like you have to really jump through 1,000 hoops to get any sort of scholarship. And if you get a loan, like I have friends who are still paying off their college loans. And they never even got a job in something they went to college for, and they're still paying off those loans with the money that they don't have from the jobs that they didn't get. That's why a lot of people are going into like trades and stuff. Because like if you learn to be an electrician or a plumber or something like that, you can make quite a lot of money, especially welding. If you're able to like take a welding class, it costs less than college, and you can get jobs in welding, which are like always in demand. Unless you work at Tesla, but wild. That's really cool that it's free. Yeah, every push to have like universal free college and stuff like that has been viciously torn down in the States because the for-profit colleges need their fucking profit. I'm really glad that you get to have access to like free college. It's great. It's like if you're miserable about it, it's still understandable because it's still school that you have to go to. But I hope maybe it's okay. Maybe without the burden of like the financial responsibility, you'll actually be able to have fun in college, like all the old people talk about. Mm-hmm. Nice, you're already playing too, huh? Dutch is such a weird language. Luffy's laundromat. Again, Luffy One Piece running a laundromat. I don't think he should. Doesn't seem like a good idea. It's probably a front for something. As you know, he's a pirate, so he does crimes. It's been 84 years. And finally, Silk Song is out. Silk Song seemed like an unattainable dream. And yet, finally. Maybe the owner is just like really into One Piece. Expression. Right. Also doesn't have that on there. Why did I put those on that separate layer? Copyright law is so insane here. Yeah, sometimes girl can be gender neutral, and so can guys or dude if they're funny enough. Why haven't I done this before? Fucking grandpa with dementia. Did they get a Switch for Christmas, or did they fucking snap? Yeah, the Switch can also be, yeah. Like Switch console, Switch blade, Switch automatic lock, Switch sexual partner. Oh, a Switch is also a type of, uh, those things you hit people with, you know? That it's like a type of whip. Uh, I guess it's not super common usage. I probably don't want to search that on stream, just in case. I ain't falling for that trap. Dang it. That's too blue. Mm. Picture of the friggin' BDSM tool? Yeah, I was joking. Fridge door. I'm opening this on my phone. Yeah, Luffy's Cleaners. Grand opening. I hope the owner of the place walks around wearing a straw hat. And cut off shorts. I'm gonna go beat up my stalker and also old people and buy stuff from the black market in the video game I'm playing, of course. Okay, I think I got most of everything here. I do need to get the hair and the earrings and the studs. Damn it, I was doing that. Good night. Ah, that reminded me to make sure I wasn't leaning my elbow, my weenus, on the edge of my laptop stand too hard. It's like, you're fucking what? Yeah, I remembered at some point when, like, what was that? Middle school? When a bunch of friends and I learned the word weenus, meaning specifically the part of skin that's, like, right at the tip of your elbow. And we were obnoxious about it. We're like, we'll show you my weenus if you show me yours. And then we'd, like, point our elbows at each other. Stupid memory unlocked. Ugh. Hydration check. Okay, got my blending done. I gotta blend those, and then I gotta do the studs and the hair and the eyes. Put a little glint on the earrings. I gotta do this one. And I'll do one of the side ones. Yeah, I'm gonna do both of the side ones because of how I shade those usually. Then I can copy paste the other ones onto those. I need to ask if he wants because I think it would be a nice contrast if the violin case was just like velvet, so it's just like completely matte against the shiny leather, but I don't know. That's up to the friend who's commissioning this, so. Take a little break and open up the other thing I'm working on. That or it's the combination. I think, right? Yeah. It'd probably have to be someone who's like really, really invested in something, like Don Quixote with the Fixers or something. Just cannot convince Marcel to be interested in their history or something like that. Yeah, he's like, whatever, man, sure. Sounds like a you problem. Oh, right, I said I was gonna give him gloves, so I don't actually need all that detail on the hands. Seams in there. Mm. Goddamn, like, what happened with the boss? Jeez. Yeah, pretty bold to just be saying that in the work chat. Goddamn. It's like, is this person gonna quit tomorrow? Have they already quit? Did they send that and then send in their I'm quitting notice, or are they just not gonna show up? delete these extra ones. I mean, do that. Yeah. Mm. I might move the shield a little bit before lining it in. For some reason I'm doing this with my trackpad instead of stylus. I don't know why. Have the arm behind there. Or I could have it like this to the side. Mm. 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 Yeah, honestly, that would really piss me off. I'd be like, what the hell are you even talking about? A bit bigger on the arm, we're going back like this and sort of. Yeah. Not like a good size for a shield, or should I maybe make it bigger? They didn't say anything about that, so I guess it should be fine. Mm. Fussing with this shield this entire time. But I wanted it to be like. Yeah, that would be like a bit too high if he was holding it like that. I'm trying to imagine where the arm is. Probably just draw the arm, but. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just got a little Steam pop up that said Abraham Lincoln is playing Hollow Knight Silksong, and I'm like, haha, I bet you are. I haven't seen him stream in forever. I guess he just hasn't been on. arm braced across here, so that would be like... And that arm... Okay, yeah. I feel like that feels a little bit more natural than holding the sword in front of it. Save your progress check. Guess I should probably... Should do the hair and studs. Oh yeah, I was gonna see if I should, change some of the light colors. I have Happy Synthesizer stuck in my head. It does help them stand out better. That's a bit too bright. Ugh. I almost dropped my stylus. I almost fell on the floor. That would have been bad. I think we'll leave him like this for now and see if she prefers, see if he prefers, colored lines or not later. Hmm. So some of these were colored over in the wrong space. That helps. Okay. By that I mean it does not help. Mm. Mm. Hmm. Did I miss something, or like, by how bad I got? Do you mean like her weird preachiness, or the work chat stuff, or oh, or preachiness? Okay. Uh, could be the type of person who's freaked out by an atheist. Who knows? What? She wants to like backseat your customer service calls? That's weird. Aren't the calls recorded or whatever? Like a lot of places record calls. Can she just give feedback based on those? Live coaching sounds a little weird. I don't know what that means, that she's a puppet with an awakened ego. Does that mean she's sentient? She came to life? Mm, that's weird. I don't know how weird it is. I don't know if it's commonplace, but even if it's commonplace, that's weird. Okay, sentient. Alright. I figured it out from context. Hmm. Hmm. Not wanting to be noticed by the supervisors or whatever is kind of creepy. Like you don't want to incur the wrath of the supervisors. Aw. I hope Ohio goes better for you. Don't worry about that. Mm. That sucks, because that's kind of your whole job, isn't it? Helping the customer, so. I think that's pretty ridiculous. Um, I personally think it is the customer's fault if they can't handle that, I don't know, their package went missing or something. It's like, yeah, that really sucks sometimes. But, also, fucking don't harass postal workers about it. If anything, I think it just sort of babies the customers to make it like, oh, well, our representative didn't do a good job of letting you down. The poor baby, will a cookie and some milk help you? Creepy. I don't know what the crawling enemies in there are like, but I'm just imagining like the first enemy you meet in Silent Hill 2, and when you hit it enough, it just starts scuttling around on the ground really fast, like a bug. You have to, like, stomp on them. Like, well, I guess your supervisor answers to someone else, but, like, You were answering the question, which is who you specifically answer to. It's like, yeah, sorry, I'm not the personal assistant and secretary to the head main chief of postal services, the grand poobah of postal services, who is a giant floating many-eyed mail receptacle in the sky. Mm. Mm. He's so fucking funny. It's like she is unprofessional, and why does that keep happening? She's unprofessional and does not foster a welcoming work, whatever. I don't know. Probably someone who's used to just getting whatever she wants. Which are the easiest people to piss off because they're such babies. I think I'm agnostic, so I do not know if there is an afterlife. But if there is, and there's any sort of like punishment aspect to it, I feel like there's a special area for people who are mean to um, any sort of service employee, whether it's retail or food industry or um, like call centers, stuff like that. If you're mean to service representatives, you get the bad place. Oh damn, you got freaking kamikazes going on over there. Gotta keep you on your toes. Yeah, that should be good. Mm. Watch next, they're gonna have crawling enemies that are also suicide bombers. come scuttling toward you. I don't know if they scuttle, because he said they crawl, but some crawling enemies sure do scuttle. They're gonna come scuttling and/or slowly crawling toward you and then explode if you don't kill them in time. But if you do kill them in time, they will also explode. Flamethrower is nice. I know, like, that sucks for you, but again, some variety in enemies there. Mm. Yeah, I think there should be a mix, you know? Punch a Nazi, but also vote. It's like, you kinda gotta do multiple things. Some of it is more direct action, some of it is more, like, paperwork. And I feel like there's not enough focus on, like, the variety of peaceful protest things you can do. Whether it's just, like, if your city has a law against panhandling or something like that, you give money to hobos anyway, and you say, oh, this person was doing performance art, and I was tipping them because their performance was just so moving to me. Something like that, you know? Or, like, just handing out food for free in public, starting a soup kitchen, something like that. Giving out free publications that tell people what their rights are and stuff like that, spreading education. Also, I think it would just be swell if, you know, maybe like a third attempt was made at a certain thing. Mm. Yeah, it is pretty annoying how people who are, like, really influential like that, who can just spread really fucked up stuff until one of their crazy followers follows through with it and ends up killing people, and then they can just say, oh, well, it wasn't my fault. That person acted on their own. It's like, yeah, that person did act on your own, but you enabled them. I don't think he did it. The whole Luigi Mangione thing is like, I don't think he did it. There is no proof that he actually did it. So I'm with the group of people who are saying that he is innocent because he has not been proven guilty at all, and I think he's just a distraction because the New York police don't want to admit that they have no idea who did it. Oh yeah, I heard from someone a while back who had been to Germany that, like, if you throw a Nazi salute there as, like, a joke, someone will punch you the fuck out, and they'll be justified in doing it, and you won't be able to do anything against them legally. Yeah, I haven't looked up on his case in a little bit, because there's been fucking so much happening, but he's definitely being mistreated, and they were using him as a distraction. Possibly, but I think, you probably have to have, like, actual, like, that's contextual. So if someone was, like, on a street and there was a cab coming and they throw their arm out to hail the cab, then people would probably be like, oh, okay, they were hailing a cab. That's fine. Does Germany have cabs? Probably. I don't know anything about Germany. But that would also, some tourist would probably be like, heh, lol, hail Hitler. Oh, I mean, I'm actually hailing a cab. Hail cab, lol. Someone who was that annoying would probably get found out eventually. And people would be like, nah, we see what you're doing. I'm on another project Sekai Kick, so I just have like a rotating playlist of various Vocaloid songs in my head, and I want to get back to reading the story and catching up, playing more songs so I can try to get more coins because it's anniversary Miku Gacha. I want to get her birthday thing. That's like all I've been thinking about this whole time. Mm, mm, mm. Second, that was a lot. I missed half of it. What? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's strange, because huh. Yeah. It's like, I do believe in peaceful resolution to things as much as possible, but also, I don't think fucking Nazis should have any place in our society. There was that one guy who, once he got punched in public, like on camera, and it got shared all around the internet, his career pretty much fell apart. And that other guy that always gets shared around with it, who was like wearing a swastika on his arm with a red armband and everything, and then just someone just comes close to him and just lays him the hell out. That's beautiful. And I think the only thing that's a slippery slope is stuff like KOSA and people trying to essentially nanny the internet by making it like child friendly or whatever. People banning books because they say they have horrific sexually explicit material, and the only thing that happens in it that they don't like is that two gay people hold hands or something. That's a slippery slope. That leads to people, that leads to like actual really bad censorship. I don't think the internet should be a place for corporate censorship at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting character there. It's like, I don't know, you gotta have like empathy toward people and their different options and stuff, you know? I'm sure there are a lot of people throughout history who wish they could have left and escaped for the sake of their family and for the sake of their people. They wish they could have escaped, but they couldn't for whatever reason. I really think it's like, if you can stay in a place, there's like privileges to both things. If you can stay in a place and fight, then you're probably the kind of person who can fight, you know? Or like, you don't have that much to lose or whatever. Or you're not that in that a bad place anyway. There's also privileges to leaving, like you have money and access to be able to do that. Or some people with absolutely no money flee in really dangerous scenarios, and some people who stay because they can't afford to leave. So I don't really think there's any sort of... It's really annoying when people get self-righteous about stuff like that. It's like, you gotta do what's best for you in your scenario and what you're able to do. And, like, not judge others based on it. You go, okay, you're going so-and-so, hey, if I need help, can you please help me from outside of the country, whatever, you know? Even with, like, Underground Railroad stuff, you need people on, like, both ends of it to get people to safety, you know what I mean? Mm. What were you talking about? Mm. Oh, the story he's writing? Hmm? He spread good vibes to stop the riots because he thought the riots were the problem? That's strange. I mean, yeah, if you were gonna, like, spread peace and good vibes, wouldn't you, like, use that power to be like, hey, don't be racist. All humans are your family, you know, that kind of thing. Like, why would it be to just stop the riots themselves? That's yeah, that is pretty problematic. Like, the riots aren't the problem there. It's the reasons people were having the riots, which is like really bad injustice, and the fact that they weren't being listened to. Most people do not want to have riots. They don't want to cause problems. They only do that as like a pretty much like a huge cry for help, you know? Hmm. Okay, interesting. Is he like a white middle class guy? I don't want to profile, but like, because you know you can be white and middle class and be fairly progressive, or you know you can be progressive in kind of a really condescending way. I'm just kind of like assuming. You are in California. Okay, yeah. Because I've met a lot of white middle class people who are actually quite progressive. That's just the kind of people I hang out with at like Bubonicon, my art swaps, and freaking community events and stuff like that. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, it's like I've also been pretty comfortable, but like I don't know, the city I live in is not great. I like it. That's cause it's my hometown. Love this place. I don't know. I feel like that guy probably just needs like more perspective and maybe some feedback from I don't know, people of color or historians who studied like the history of protests. There's this guy who I haven't checked TikTok in forever because it's I get really tired of short form videos, but there's this guy I follow who is a historian and he specifically studies the history of protest movements and stuff like that, and, like the history of government dissent and all that in like different places. And he has fascinating stuff to talk about. Yeah, and I hope he gets feedback from like people who have been broke as hell their whole life and queer people and people who come from different countries. Okay, my pen died. Has it? It's been 2.5 hours. Nice. Mm, mm, mm. It won't let me freaking go up anymore. Yeah, it sounds like he's a little confused, but he's got the spirit. And I hope he would be open minded enough to learn in case he ends up being kind of condescending or something. Mm. Okay, I gotta see if, gotta see if I got replied to about this, and I should... Has that... I forgot to change the microphone input. God damn it. That just wasn't working this whole time, huh? Oh well. You were able to taper off them slowly, right? You definitely seem even more angry and cynical than you used to seem. So I hope the being off the meds is helping you, but also you do seem a lot more stressed out. Okay, that's good. It helps to learn that kind of anger management. Okay. Save you. I've been on for 2.5 hours, and I have to... I think I should eat something else, and... Did I... No, yeah, I did that earlier. Okay, right. I gotta check for an email, and I might post this on the 7000 BC Discord and see if I can get any feedback for that. Although I might have to, I'll have to see what Bram says first. Okay. I'm gonna stop rambling to myself, and I gotta sign off. Okay. Huh, okay. I guess you were on one of those meds where, like where people say it kind of dulls your senses or whatever. I haven't been on one of those, but it sounds pretty wild. Yeah, good luck with your emotions, and it's good that you also feel happier too. It's like feeling a good range in things instead of just getting pissed off. I have one of my meds where if I go off it for a little bit, it's not great. So, that's good for you. I keep yawning, so I gotta set up. Okay. Hydrations and postures and stretches and save your progress and take your meds unless you're tapering off of them, in which case stay on your taper schedule properly so you don't go into withdrawal. Yeah. And relearn how to deal with stress, and good night.